Hey, Greg, I appreciate the introduction, and it means a lot coming from you because you're an individual that does a lot of things. If you're listening in on this call and you want to learn about using the internet to market yourself as a musician, an artist, as a business owner, you need to go to YouTube and type in Greg Caesar. You'll see some of the extraordinary things that Greg's doing. And like you said, he's an international speaker. This guy, he speaks all across the globe, and he teaches individuals how to start their own business. And it doesn't really relate to this call, but as a sidebar, I just want to acknowledge some of the things that he's doing. He teaches individuals how to start their own businesses successfully using the internet. He's worked with some of the biggest and brightest individuals that are online. So do yourself a favor, make a note of his name, and it's Greg, G-R-E-G, and the last name, the spelling of your last name, Greg, because I always get this wrong.
Very few people get it right, but it's C-E-S-A-R.
Go to YouTube, C-E-S-A-R. He's got a video on YouTube where he's doing a trick with the Rubik's Cube, right? And it's a business principle. When I say Rubik's Cube, don't think I'm talking about playing around with a toy here. It's a toy, but he's teaching you a very valuable business principle, so you definitely want to go and check out that video.
You want to know something? I've got a new version of that trick. Basically on that video, I'm doing the Rubik's Cube blindfolded. The new version, I shouldn't say blindfolded, my eyes are closed. But in the new version, not only are my eyes closed, but I've got the Rubik's Cube behind my back. And I'm able to mess it up, completely mess up the Rubik's Cube, and solve it behind my back with my eyes closed in less than 30. It's probably about 30 to 40 seconds. And the idea is once you have a formula, you can do anything. And to the folks on the call tonight, that's part of what I know you're going to be covering to them. That formula for success. Once you have it, you don't have to think about it. Your business can operate almost blindfolded. So folks on this call should be excited about what they're going to get from you today.
Definitely. It's all about that formula. And it's about staying focused, one of my key words. And for anyone who's listened to me, this is a weekly series. So if this is the first time that you're listening in on the so be sure to tune in every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. in the UK, and I think it's like 3 p.m. in Australia. So make sure that you set your cell phone, you set your PDA, you mark your calendar so that you are on this call every Monday night. Right? So again, be sure to tune in every week. Put it on your cell phone, like I said, your PDA, and also be sure to share the call-in number and the access code with your friends, your peers, and anyone else who may be in the music business or have aspirations to be. All right? In fact, those of you who really know me, you know that I strongly believe that in order to run a successful business or to be successful in this industry, you and your team has to be focused, and you have to be on one accord. Right? Everyone that works for me, we work as a team. Right? And even, this same principle applies even if you don't have a huge business or even if you're an individual and you know that, Ty, I'm just, I don't have a team yet. Yes, you do have a team. You have a team. It's the individuals that you go into the studio with. It's the engineer that may be at the studio. It's, the individuals that help you market yourselves, whether it be to pass out your CDs or just to spread the word out about yourself. You want to make sure that all of you guys are on one accord and that you're all focused. So with that said, this entire series, the entire Motivational Mondays Music Business Teleseminar series, needs to be heard by you as well as everyone within your organization or your sphere, your circle of influence as it relates to your music career. That means your manager, your band members, your group members, your artists, whoever. All right? You can't listen in on these calls and then go back and try to explain the processes to your people. They have to hear it live and getting understanding of it just as you are. Step by step, so that you're all coordinated and you're moving as one unit. That coordination is critical to the success of anything that you try to do. If you look at some of the largest corporations, Let's take McDonald's, for example. All right? McDonald's is one of the largest corporations, and it's a global corporation, but it all comes down to one principle. All right? It moves as one unit, pretty much. They fry the fries the same in the U.S. as they fry the fries in Canada. They fry them the same temperature almost practically, same amount of time that the fries are kept in the fryer in New York as it is in California. So you have to have one accord, and you guys have to be focused. You have to be all on the same plane. All right. So lack of organization can be a huge downfall, not only for companies, but for us as individuals as well. You want to run a household that's unorganized. Now, on last week's call, for those of you who missed out on last week's call, we spoke about reprogramming your mindset for success in the music industry. All right, reprogramming your mindset for success in the music industry. I spoke about topics such as fear. We talked about procrastination, things that can and will kill your goals, focus, and a lot more. In fact, that reminds me, I mentioned on last week's call that I would share a list of common goal killers with anyone who emailed me. I received a ton of emails. I received about 70 emails. And I received a notice from a few people that they never received the emails that I sent out that contained the list of goal killers. So if you were one of those individuals who have yet to receive that list from me, send me an email again, and my email address is T-Y, this is the one that I check most often, Ty_Cohen, Cohen, @yahoo.com. And in the subject line, you could just put something like list of goal killers, or, I listened in on the teleseminar, and we'll get that list out to you ASAP. And make sure that you focus on that list, because you're going to see a lot of key things that you come across on a daily basis that you may not recognize as a goal killer or something that's stopping you from reaching your dream. But when you put it in perspective, starting this week, we're going to focus on an area of extreme importance. And what that is it's marketing. Whether you're a singer, you're a business owner, a manager, you're a record label owner, etc., you must know about marketing. Everything successful pretty much boils down to marketing. And there are a few other key elements that are involved, such as artistic talent, supply and demand, and things like that. But marketing is one of those key elements. That's why right now, not now, we primarily watch DVDs, but when VCRs were common, initially Beta came out. And Beta was a far superior version of being able to watch, movies and things like that on your VCR players or your Beta players. But because they failed to properly market their system, all right, the VHS format actually took over the industry and became one of the more well-known means of watching videos and things like that. So marketing